y'all, welcome back to Adventuring with Amanda. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I have another Life at Camp episode for you, and it was shower day today. So in this video, I am talking a little bit about that and my water, kind of how I get it warmed up during this time of year, if you will. I also discovered there was an animal in my trash when I woke up this morning. And I have some other van life tidbits and like random stuff to show you guys today. I've been really busy around camp, and I have to tell you, I am feeling so motivated after getting my van repaired. Even though I spent $2,300 on the repair, and I talk about it more in a previous video, you guys can check that out if you haven't yet. It's something I had been putting off for an entire year, and it was really hanging over my head, but I'm so glad it's done. I am happy to be back up north with a repaired vehicle, and now I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm feeling great. Everything's good. Life is good. And I hope you enjoy this Life at Camp video. So like this video, subscribe to my channel. Let's get into it. Started raining a little bit heavier, so we came in the van. A few raindrops inside, but that's okay. It's not crazy out right now. It is chilly out. It's approaching 7:30, and I finished up with dinner and everything, so now I'm literally snuggling in my blankets. I have socks and sweatpants on, y'all. I am watching my Arizona Diamondbacks game, playing my Nintendo Switch, just hanging out. I'll probably bring Kid in the van in about 10 minutes or so. Y'all, so this morning I got out of the van. And it's a beautiful morning, by the way, high of 82 degrees today. And I noticed, you know, because I always kind of observe what's popping around camp. It's the first thing I do. There's kiddo. And I noticed my trash bin was like flattened. And y'all know I use this collapsible trash bin that zips on the top. I'm not in bear country. You know, where we are camping and where I've spent the summer, the only wildlife that are really around are coyotes, which is, I honestly haven't heard any coyotes in months. Elk, deer, right now we have free range cattle, but nothing crazy, nothing like really harmful, you know, big crows, just nothing crazy, which is good. That's one of the things I really like about camping in this area of Arizona, is wildlife isn't really a factor. So, but I noticed that the trash can was tipped over, and I walked over to it and it was halfway unzipped, like perfectly unzipped. And I found some trash on the ground, and one of the pieces of trash was my leftover container from the lobster ravioli I ate yesterday. And I specifically remember that I left a few tomatoes, and like the bottom was coated with like lobster sauce, so there were remnants of food in there, and it was licked clean, like not even a speck. So something definitely got into my trash bin. And Maddie and I are speculating that it was probably a fox. So let me show you my trash bin in case you need a reminder. So here's my trash bin, and like I said, it wasn't ripped open, not chewed, nothing like that. It was perfectly unzipped, like halfway, and there's a hole in one of my trash bins, and the container was just like laying there completely licked clean. So we do think that it was a fox. The thing is, I had my window open last night and I didn't hear anything, which also leads me to believe that it was probably a fox, because they are quiet and they are sneaky. But you know what? I hope that it enjoyed the veggies and lobster sauce, because it was a really tasty meal. So enjoy, little fox. Lots of smells. Here, let's go over this way. Good boy listening. This was very muddy the other day, but it's dried up. That Arizona dryness. Lots of tent campers around, which is nice to see. I always like seeing tent campers because it's like the OG camping, you know? None of this big rig stuff. It's pretty cool. What are you finding? Anything good over here? We sure do have an awesome campsite. There's the van up there. We just got back from our walk, so I decided that I would work on camp a little bit. As you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, I like to get everything cleaned up and organized at camp in the morning, including doing things like making my bed, vacuuming, and of course, taking my trusty lint roller to my mattress so I can keep up with the dog hair. Not that Wynston sheds very much, but I also realized that I wanted to get some stuff out of my storage beneath my drawers. So I just take the drawers off and take out my storage bin. It holds things that I don't use all the time, like excuse me, backup paper products, my Jesper that I'm getting out right now, my jump starter, down blanket, laundry detergent, you know, just items that I don't use on a regular basis. So that is what I am doing right here because I need to restock. If you hear some wind in the background, that's because it is a little bit breezy today, but I have very much appreciated the change in weather. I think we're past the worst of the heat, which is always a good thing. Now, during this time, Maddie did walk over, so I was kind of chatting with him, and I have to tell you guys, he was dancing out of frame, and I wish that he was in front of the camera showing you his sweet dance moves. Maybe one day we can convince him, but Wynston is also pretty funny in this clip. He is supervising Mom and getting a little bit silly on the rug. Since I did take out my storage bin, I figured I would also take my vacuum and my lint roller and clean out that area because it had been a while since I had done it. It's so hot in the valley, so I haven't been doing the detailed cleaning like I normally do. And of course, my van was in the shop last week for 6 days. So I have some catching up to do, which is fine because that gives me a little project. But keep your eye on Wynston here because he's being so funny on the rug. This time lapse is in 2 times speed, by the way. And right now I am just vacuuming. I had some leaves and just some junk down there. I also found a fork down there. I think it fell from when I was using it from Wynston's food, but peep Wynston in the corner. He's being really silly. He's such a funny boy, but I'm glad I put the rug out because he has really been liking it. It makes a big difference at camp. Here's a glimpse into what I was working on. This is what it looks like when I take out my storage bin. Right there is my Yargo solar panel. And I put this little piece of wood under my shelf. I noticed it was shifting and I asked Maddie, hey, do you have like a super small thin piece of wood? And of course he did. He's the Tinker King. So I was able to stabilize my shelf a little better. which was helpful. I also put out my 2 solar panels. I have my Rofi 200 watt and my Rockpals 100 watt, as well as my water just sitting out in the sun. Normally that's enough to make it warm for my showers during this time of year. Some of you may remember I did a review on this Jesper jump starter, I don't know, 6 weeks ago maybe, but it's 88 watt hours, and I have this USB fan that I bought at Goodwill for $5, and it draws very little power. So I've had it plugged into my Rockpals or my Jackery, but the only thing is the cord's not very long, so I have to like move a power station over here because that's like the ultimate spot for my fan. So I was thinking, I was like, hey, I have this little Jesper and I can just plug it in there because it literally draws like 1 or 2 watts of power. So I can plug it into this and just put it in the back out of the way. And I'm glad I thought of it because I just have it sitting, you know, just in case I need to jump start my van. But I got a new battery a couple months ago when it died when I was in the forest. Some of you might remember that as well. So I'm not really worried about having this powered up right now today at the moment. So I will just plug it into the USB port, and that will save space and from, you know, me having to move my power stations. Also, look at how pretty my van is. Yay. Success. Turned it on. I have full charge, plugged it in. Now I have it running. And when I need to charge this, I can just charge it off of one of my other power stations. Pretty stoked. Now I can just put it out of the way. Excellent. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you took the time to watch all the way through, thank you so much. Also, just a little hint, Maddie and I decided on a new adventure for 2024 in the summer. I hope that we're going to do a joint video to announce where we decided to go. It's going to be something new, and I look forward to sharing with you all. Again, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.